can set it down. There's a few options. I just want to open up through the chest. So you can set a block right here. You can use another one as a pillow or use an actual pillow. Depending on how open you are in your chest, you can have your block on the first setting, the second, maybe not the third yet, so maybe the second. So you'll be laying like this. So you might have to fiddle around with it till you get comfortable. Arms out to the side. And if you don't have any blocks, you're just gonna lay down with your arms open. And again, really trying to open up there. Just wanna bring it a little bit closer. All right, I think we're good. All right, we're gonna get started. So again, laying on your back. Either with your blocks to help you open up through your chest, or just laying flat on the mat with your arms out, trying to feel some sort of a stretch along the front of the body. Starting to slow your breath. Maybe closing out your eyes. And just bringing your awareness to your physical body. Noticing any sensations, any areas of numbness. Just again, noticing. Feel the pressure of the mat or your blocks. Feel your clothing against your skin. And feel your heart beating. Staying where you are, bring your focus now to your breath. Just start by feeling the air coming in, being pulled in through your nostrils. And then feel the air rushing out through your mouth or your nostrils. Personal preference. Relaxing the face muscles a little bit here. Try to slow your breath even more. Feel your lungs expand and deflate. Focusing solely on your breath for 2 more rounds of breath. Bringing your focus now to your mind and taking a moment for gratitude. Bringing something into your mind's eye that you are grateful for, something or someone. Hone in on that something or someone. Visualize it in as much detail as possible. Breathe your gratitude in towards that person or that thing. And with the next exhale, letting it go. Remembering that any cues I give in this class are merely suggestions. If it does not work within your body, then slowly, mindfully make tweaks to accommodate your level, any past injuries you might have, or any other factors that weigh in to movement in our bodies. If you go too deep into a pose, I just ask that you calmly come out of it slightly, not all the way, and just come to a point where you can hold it. Always checking in with the ego, noticing if you're trying to force yourself into something that you're not ready for, and if so, just letting go a little bit and taking a step back. If and when the heart rate rises and the breath speeds up, just try to slow it down whenever you can. In moments of rest, like downward facing dog. And you're always more than welcome to take a child's pose. Just recognizing when you've had enough rest and getting right back into it. Challenging yourself, but at the same time being kind to yourself. With that said, let's begin. We're going to open the eyes, tuck the chin in towards the chest, especially if you're on your blocks. Come to your forearms and just push yourself up. Move your blocks off to the side. We're going to start with some core work. Today I attended a yoga class where they started with core, and I don't think I've ever started with core, so we're going to switch it up and give it a whirl. So if you have one block, it's ideal. If you do not have it, what you're going to do is pretend that you're holding one. So you're going to work through these 4 exercises like you've got a block, and it'll just make you work that much harder. So yeah, with or without a block, let's lie down now flat on our backs. This first one is going to start. You're going to put the block widthwise like this against your knees. With the shoulders and head up off the mat, you're then going to hold on to the block here with your elbows. So you're holding onto the block with your elbows and your knees. From here, we're going to extend the right leg and the right arm. So the block is balancing between the left arm and the left leg. So there's a little bit of coordination required here in extending them. If that's too hard, then maybe you don't extend as much. Maybe this is as far as you can. Keep pushing your lower back into the mat. Extend as much as your level allows you. Bring it back in. Other side. Move slow if the coordination isn't there yet. Bring it in. Switch. Bring it in. Switch. Bring it in. And if it's not working with a block, maybe you set the block aside and just pretend that a block is there. Bring it in. Switch. Bring it in. Keep lifting the shoulders even more up off the mat. Bring it in. Switch. Bring it in. Most important factor here is pushing your lower back into the mat. So only extend as far as you can keep your lower back in contact. Bring it in. Extend. Bring it in. Going for 10. In. 9. In. 8. In. 7. In. 6. In. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Bring it in. Relax the head down. Holding on to your block here. We're going to extend the legs straight up. If you've got a bend in your legs, that's fine depending on your hamstring openness, but we're trying to really flex our feet here. So you can watch for this one where we're doing the block here, and this one's really hard. So you might have to kind of cheat and wiggle, but it's kind of fun. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lift up and try to place the block on our feet, lower down. And then reach up and try to grab it with the other hand. So if you can't extend your legs, it obviously makes it a lot harder because you have to reach way further. So just do your best trying to get it. Reaching up, putting it on your feet. Reaching up, maybe you have to use your hand to get it down. Your other hand as a cheat. So just working at your own pace. And we're just gonna do this for an undetermined amount of time, and I'll just count down once we're nearing the end of it. So lift up, lower. The objective here is obviously just trying to reach up as high as we can. Reach, 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 reach. Reach, 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 reach. Keep going. If it starts getting harder and harder, maybe you bend your legs a little bit more so that you can keep going. Trying to stick with it. And if you're using an imaginary block, make sure you're not cheating yourself. Reach like you're putting a block up there. And then reach like you're taking a block down. We're gonna go for 10 more seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it down. Relax the legs. If you felt it in at the fronts of your shins there, the anterior tibialis, that's all right. If you feel it in your neck, maybe just give your neck a little rub before we move on to the next exercise. Take a deep breath. And sitting up, so rolling up or pressing yourself up. We're gonna do Russian twists here with our block. So you can keep your feet down as a modified version, a more gentle version, or for more of a challenge, you can pick your feet up. And we're just reaching, and we're trying to reach the block as far away as possible so that we're really twisting through our core, coming through center, and then reaching to the other side. Center, reach. Center, reach. It's okay if your legs move a little bit. And move at your own pace. If you want to go quicker, if you want to go slower. Again, so long as you are challenging yourself. And just try to stick with it. Lower the feet if you need to, but stay with me. Going for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it. Give your hip flexors a bit of a break there. Take a breath. Slow it down. Last of these core block exercises. These ones are like in and out, so we're gonna pick up the feet again here. And again, if you're pretending you've got a block, don't cheat yourself, really reach. If you do have a block, do your best. And if you can't do it with a block, then maybe you just do it without, but trying to reach as much as possible. What we're doing here is trying to tuck our feet around and come through into a boat. Tuck the feet in, and then we're going to extend. And the extension depends on your level. So maybe your extension is just coming up to this, or maybe you can come all the way down into a hollow body. If you come all the way down, your lower back needs to be pressed against the mat. And then we come back up into a boat, and then extend to your depth. In and out. And work with your feet here. You're gonna have to flex through the feet. In and out. In, out, in, out. Work at your own pace. Keep going. When it gets challenging, modify rather than stopping. Going for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back up and release. Lay on your backs. You can stretch your arms overhead. I'm just checking here. Take deep belly breaths. And now coming back to seated, we're just gonna work over to a tabletop. Do a gentle little wrist warm up. Start by just clawing into your mat, gripping with your fingers. Walk your wrists around so your fingers point to the outsides of the mat, and then back towards your knees. Keep clawing, work your way all the way back around. And then with internal rotation, reach the fingers as far around as they'll go. And then back to pointing towards the top of the mat. We're going to extend, sitting back on the heels, because we're going to extend the arms straight out in front of us, flex through the fingers. Squeeze, make a tight fist, release. Squeeze, release. Squeezing and releasing as hard as you can, also moving as fast as you can, all the while pulling your fingers back towards your face. Keep going. Squeeze and release. Force yourself to go a little bit faster. Squeeze and release a little bit harder. You should feel your muscles burning. They should slowly be not cooperating as much, but keep forcing through it. Squeeze and release. Pull the fingers back towards your face. Try to go faster for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shake it out. Come back to tabletop. And just do little circles here. Slowly, mindfully, putting weight through the hands, through the wrists. Getting them used to what's going to come. Reverse the direction. Maybe move a little bit slower than you want to really feel through every part of these circles. Push down through the knuckles. There should be no gap between the palm of your hands and the mat. The knuckles and your fingers, however, those can be lifted up like you've got a gentle clawing motion going on. Turn the eye of your elbow so that it's pointed straight forward. So again, you can see me rotating here. And this is the position we want to be in every time we lower down into Chaturanga. So when I bend my elbows straight, point straight back behind me. Take a few more circles. Bring the weight off your hands, shake them out one more time. Lower them down, tuck the toes, coming up into the first downward facing dog. So you can have a generous bend in your knees. Your heels might be lifted up off the mat, that's fine. Wherever you are, push the mat away from you, shrugging up through the shoulders. Lift your tailbone up even higher. And then flexing through the feet, seeing if you can straighten the legs just a smidgen, maybe melt the heels down a little bit closer towards the mat. Notice the rib cage. If it's really flaring out, hug it in, maintaining some stability here. Suck the belly button in towards your spine. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, come up on the toes, look forward. Next inhale, just step to the top of the mat, half lift. Exhale, fold. Again, generous bend in the knees, rib cage to thighs. Inhale, come all the way up, pushing through the feet. You should feel the backs of the legs work, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands come through heart center. We're going to work through some sun A's, sun B's. So just stick with me here. Let's inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward, rib cage to thighs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the palms. Step back, high plank or lower to your knees. Wherever you are, shift forward first. With the eye of the elbow pointing forward. Lower down, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Just make this first one gentle. Exhale, downward facing dog. You can also come through your knees to your downward facing dog. Make your sun salutations as gentle or as challenging as you see fit. Inhale here. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward. Inhale, hopper step, top of your mat, half lift. Exhale, fold. Whenever we're doing these folds, try to rip them out apart with your feet, and you should feel the outsides of your glutes really engaged. So rip them out apart as we fold forward. Keep ripping it apart as we stand all the way up. Exhale, hands through to heart center. Inhale, arms up. Maybe you make it a little bit more of a back bend, just gentle. Exhale, fold forward. Rip them out apart with your feet. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the palms. If you just step back with the opposite foot. High plank or lower to your knees. Shift forward, Chaturanga. Inhale, gentle upward facing dog. You can also even take a cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward. Inhale, upper step, top of your mat, half lift, rip the mat apart. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands come through to heart center. Again, inhale, arms up. Maybe it's a little bit more of a back bend. Squeeze through your glutes, lift the chest up. Exhale, fold forward, ripping the mat apart. Rib cage to thighs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the palms. If you're jumping back, jump back to Chaturanga, not high plank. If you're stepping back, step back to high plank, then lower. So if you're jumping back, I'll demonstrate here. We're going right into Chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, push the mat away from you. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward. Inhale, hop top of the mat, half lift. Rip the mat apart, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands come through to heart center. I'm going to add on some challenging variations, so join in if you want, otherwise keep it where you were keeping it. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Just hang out here. Maybe you hang out in your forward fold, or if you want to play around with crow, plant the palms, bring the knees up as high as you can. Maybe you're just shifting forward, and that's fine. Just getting used to being here. Maybe you can pick up one toe and then the other toe, or maybe you can pick up both. Lower down for this first one. So we're back in this forward fold, and then hop or step back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward. Inhale, hop or step, top of the mat, rip the mat apart, half lift. Exhale, fold, rib cage to thighs. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands come through to heart center. Inhale, maybe you take a little back bend again. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the palms again, play around with crow. Even if all you're doing is shifting the weight forward, or maybe you catch some balance. If crow is within your practice, you can try jumping back to Chaturanga. Guys, just step back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Took an extra breath here. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward. Inhale, hop or step, top of your mat, half lift. Exhale, fold, rib cage to thighs. Inhale, ripping your mat apart all the way up. Exhale, hands come through to heart center. Inhale, arms up. Take a little back bend if you want. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the palms. This time, it's just stepping back in high plank. Taking a three-legged plank if you'd like. So picking up the right leg, shift forward, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Now you lower that leg. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale, bend the knees. Look forward. Inhale, hop or step, top of your mat, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands come through to heart center. Inhale, arms up, maybe a little back bend. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step back. Doing that three-legged plank with the other leg. Pick up the left, shift forward, Chaturanga, lower the leg for inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees. Look forward. Inhale, hopper step, top of your mat, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands come through to heart center. We're gonna do one more of this sun A. Play around with whatever you want. Maybe you do a gentle one. Maybe you play around with a crow. Do whatever you want for this one. Inhale, arms up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Keep working with what area you're working. Inhale. Exhale, it's all meat and downward facing dog. Take 2 rounds of breath here. Set your gaze. Keep the gaze steady. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees. Look forward. Inhale. Step to your top of the mat. Half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands come through at heart center. Now we're moving on to sun B's. Stay with me. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the palms, hop or step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Get ready with the right foot. Inhale, step the right foot forward and through for warrior one. Exhale, lower the hands, step the foot back, shift forward, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Get ready with the left foot. Inhale, step the left foot forward and through, place the back foot. Inhaling for warrior one. Exhale, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 rounds of breath here. Again, take a child's pose if you need to. I'm going to do some horrible, tedious movement breakdown here because I know stepping the foot through can be challenging for some people, so we're just going to do some conditioning, we'll call it. So from downward facing dog, look forward. And we're gonna bring our right knee towards our chest. Hold it here in high plank, it's hard. Now push the mat away from you. Lift everything up so you can see me really doming. We're trying to create as much space between the mat and our chest as possible. And then see if you can step the foot through. If you still can't step it through and you have to use your hand, that's fine. But again, we're trying to create as much space and help our bodies out. Now to get our foot back, let your knee lower out to the right side. Push all of your weight into the hands again. Dome through the upper of your back. Create space, engage your core, suck your belly button in towards your spine. See if you can gently pick up your foot and then step it back. Downward facing dog. We're gonna do the other side, same thing. Inhale, come forward, bring your left knee towards your chest. Push the mat away from you, lift everything up, and then see if you can step the foot through. Again, if you have to use the hand, that's totally fine. But we're just brushing up on our technique here. Now to bring it back, let your left knee fall out to the left side a little bit, giving you more space. Bring the weight into the hands, push the mat away, engage your core, and then see if you can pick the foot up. Downward facing dog. We're gonna do each side one more time. Inhale, right knee to chest, push it away, step it through. Stay here in the slow lunge. Let your knee fall out to the side, push the mat away as much as possible. Pick up the foot, try to keep the knee in towards chest. Downward facing dog. Inhale, other side. Left knee in towards the chest. Push, 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 push. Step it through. Stay here in the slow lunge. Let the knee fall out to the side. Push the mat away from you. Engage your core. Pick up your foot. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lower to the knees. Take a little child's resting pose or just give your wrists some love here. I like to grab between the wrist bone here with my opposite hand and with a loose fist or lazy fingers, just doing some little wrist circles here. Both directions, really feel into it. Squeezing tight with that gripping hand and then switch sides. reverse directions. Whenever you're in a yoga class or doing a yoga practice and there's a lot of sun salutations, it's a lot for your wrists. So make sure you always warm up your wrists. Some classes don't do it, so if you have to do it on your own time, then do it because it's better to go in cold. And you're more than welcome to give your wrists as much love throughout the class as possible. So if they feel like they need a break, go ahead and do this as many times as need be. Take care of your body. You can feel what's happening in your body. So yeah, just make sure you're paying attention to it. Let's do another sun B. So we'll come to meet in downward facing dog. And we're gonna really implement that pushing to see if we can step through into that warrior A a little bit better. Let's inhale here, push them out of the way. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward. Inhale, hop or step, top of your mat, half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands come through the heart center. Inhale, arms up, maybe it's a little back bend. Exhale, fold forward, rip them out apart with your feet. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step or hop back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So I like to take a little step in with my left foot first. You can turn it out right here. Inhale, bring the right foot through, push them out of the way, step it through. Warrior one, arms come up, get your balance. Exhale, lower the hands, let the knee fall out, swivel on that back foot, push them out of the way from you, pick it up, step it back, shift forward, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step forward a little bit with your right foot, turn it out a little bit. Inhale the left foot forward, push them out of the way, step it through. Lower the back heel down, around a 45-degree angle. Arms come up. Exhale, lower the hands down. Swivel on the back toes, let the knee fall out to the side, push them out away from you. Step it back, shift forward, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Lower to the knees. We're just going to take a little wrist strengthening break. So we're in a tabletop position. I'm going to come a little bit closer just so you guys can see for this one. So with our hands flat on the ground, we're going to pick up our thumbs. So lift up the thumbs. And then our arms are straight. This is what it looks like more. And we're just going to lift the heel of the palm off. Shift your body weight back if it's too much. This will make it lighter. To make it more challenging, it'll be more stacked. We're trying to lift and lower with control. So here we are, and we're lifting. Keep the thumbs up. Lift, lower. Again, if it's way too much, if it feels horrible, shift the weight back. It makes it lighter. If it feels way too easy, bring the shoulders more stacked over the wrists. Lift, lower. Lift, lower, keep going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, shake out your wrists. Maybe do those little wrist circles again. And then just gently, by whatever means necessary, we're just going to come to meet at standing at the top of the mat. You can hang out in a forward fold for a moment if you'd like. Maybe ragdoll it, grabbing for opposite elbows or crossing the arms. And actually, just to switch it up, let's round up here. So release the arms in one vertebrae at a time. Coming all the way up. Head comes up last. We're going to do a little pendulum flow here. So what that means is we're going to be working from the top of the mat down to the bottom of the mat, and then back again, back and forth. Now, the only rule with this is we only ever face one direction. So I'll only ever face the camera. I'll never have my back to you. So pick which wall or whatever you're looking at, and just remember, you're only ever gonna face that way. So if you ever end up facing the other way, something got mixed up. We'll take this first one nice and slow. So I'm starting on my left leg so that I can face the camera. I'm bringing the weight into my left leg and picking up the right. Hands can be on the hips. If your balance is off today, maybe this is where you stay, just with your toe on the mat. If your balance is there, picking it up. Bringing the left hand to the outside of the right knee so that we're twisting now to our front wall. You can stay right here, or you can extend through the leg. If your leg is bent, that's totally fine. And maybe even grab for the foot. Again, bent leg, maybe eventually one day you can get a straight leg. Right arm can reach back behind you. Set your gaze somewhere to maintain your balance. Move slow. Whether you've got your knee or your foot, gently release it. Arms are still out. Bending through the left standing leg. We're going to reach that right leg back behind us and gently step it back, coming into a warrior two position. Left toes are pointing straight ahead. That left knee is tracing out towards the left baby toes. Arms are strong and parallel. See if you can sink down a little bit deeper. And then once you're at your lowest point, engage through your adductors, those inner thigh muscles, and try to pull in while staying low. Breathe here. Inhale, straighten through that front leg. Pop your heel out. Shift forward, reach forward with those left fingers. Open the palms. Triangle pose. So you can set this left hand on your shin. If you've got your block, a block can be really nice here as well. Your gaze, your drishti is up past your right thumb. Let's inhale, come all the way up. Turn your toes, so they're going to be pointing outwards a little bit as we come into goddess pose here. So sitting down low, arms come to cactus or goalpost arms. You can shimmy your way a little bit deeper. If your stance is too wide, feel free to narrow it, especially if you like to play around coming onto the toes. Maybe you just do one foot, maybe you try for both. And see, that's where, if you're really wide, it's hard to come onto the toes. So if it feels impossible, shorten your stance a little bit, and then you can come up a little bit more. It's hard to balance. So from here, we're going to straighten through the legs. Just bring the hands to the hips, and we're just going to reverse that. So now with our right toes pointing towards the bottom of our mat, our left toes are pointing to this front wall of ours. Straight legs, pop the hip out, coming to triangle pose here. Reach forward, open the palms, windmill. Sorry, again, grab your block if you like using your block here. Gaze is up past the left fingers. Inhale, come up. Bend that right leg for warrior two. Looking past the right fingers. And now the tricky part, shimmy your back foot in a little bit. Lean forward. It's okay if your arms get sloppy here as you use them for counterbalance. We're going to drag the back toe, use the strength of the right leg to try to bring this right knee up. And we're in this twist. You can grab the foot if you played around with extending on the other side, or just keep with the knee. Release and unravel. We're now at the bottom of our mats. And we're going to come back to the other side now. So grounding down through the right foot, we're going to pick up the left foot. Again, your toe can stay down if your balance is off. Modify as you need to. Taking the twist here, right hand to the outside of the left knee. Right leg is strong and stable. You can stay here, or if you played around with the foot, go ahead and grab it now. Extend the left arm out behind you. Release the foot or the knee wherever you are, and then reaching it back behind you, bending through the right leg, coming into warrior two. From here, we're going to lower the right elbow onto the right knee, reach the left arm overhead for an extended side angle. Looking out past your left arm. Again, sink down to a low point and then engage your adductors. So we're working on our flexibility, our mobility, as well as our stability, our strength. From here, looking down at the mat, swiveling on the back foot, so we're in a low crescent lunge here. And we're gonna pop up, come into a standing split. So we're trying to get this back leg as straight as possible. Picture a rope tied around your ankle and someone's pulling up on it. Pulling, 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 pulling. And then slowly lowering this left foot down. So we're in this low lunge again. Plant the left heel down. Windmill the arms up. So we're back in our warrior two. Goddess pose. You can play around with the toes again if you'd like, or just hold steady where you are. And then warrior two on the other side. So your left toes, your right toes, excuse me, are pointing towards the front wall. Left toes are pointing towards the top of the mat. Arms are parallel. Sink down, engage your adductors. And then from here, we're coming into this low crescent lunge. So we're up on the back toes and popping up into our standing split. There's a rope attached to your ankle. Someone's pulling it higher, 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 higher. Slowly lower it down. A bend in the left leg. And we're just going to bring our left elbow to our left knee for our extended side angle. Sink down deep and then engage the adductors. Reach through the right fingers. Gaze is up past the right arm. Coming up. Warrior two. Feel the left quad burn. It's okay. Breathe into it. You can shorten your stance a little bit. Use your arms. Lean forward. Try to come up into a slow, steady balance. We're in this twist. Stay with the knee. Again, maybe your toes all the way down on the mat to help with your balance. Or if you can get the leg, grab the leg. Slowly unravel wherever you are. Arms by your side. Tadasana. Inhale here. Take a little water break if you need to. If you've got a strap, sorry I didn't cue for a strap at the beginning of class. If you've got a strap, then grab it. If you don't have a strap, a belt will work. A towel would even work as well if you've got a longer towel. It might not be long enough. If you don't have a strap, again, just pretend you've got one and you'll be working more on strength rather than flexibility. We're going to set up for dancer's pose. So grounding down through your left foot. With your strap, you're going to get it hooked on your feet, or again, even just pretending. If you have a strap for real, we're going to pull the elbows through. So we're opening through the chest to pull the elbows under and through so that we've got this kind of overhand grip. So this is our starting position. I'm just going to show that again because I feel that like that flip through can be really hard for people. So I'm getting my toe hooked, which can be the hardest part. I'm kind of flexing or holding onto it. So my arms are here. I'm pulling my elbows towards my body, up and through, and then overhead. Oh, let me get my foot. There we go. If you're holding it, sorry. Get back into it if you fell out. And from here, we're just going to start kicking. So you can see I've got a lot of length in my strap here. This makes it easier. But I'm just going to start straightening my arms as I kick my leg up. Makes a really nice stretch along the front of the body, for the chest, the shoulders. And slowly lower. Switch sides. So grounding down through the right foot, pick up the left, get the strap situated, pull the elbows in and up. Again, the more distance you have with your strap, the easier this is. Start straightening through the arms. If they don't straighten all the way, that's fine, but that's just what we're working towards. And then kicking with the legs, so we're hinging a little bit here. Slowly lower. If your balance is really off and you're getting frustrated, take a step back. And maybe all you're doing is hanging out here, maybe playing around with hinging. We're gonna do each side one more time. So grounding down through the left foot. If you've got a strap and that felt good, you can shorten the distance a little bit. So I'm just walking my hands a little bit closer. It makes it more intense. Pull the elbows up and through, and then kicking as we straighten through the arms. Slowly lower. Ground down through your right foot. Hook your toes. And maybe this is where you stop. Maybe this is enough of a stretch for you. Again, any point within these progressions that I give is beautiful. So wherever you stop, be grateful for what your body can do, and then just know what you're working towards eventually one day. If you're going further, start to straighten the arms and extend through that back leg. And then slowly release. Set your strap to the side. Being mindful not to round through the back too much after we do a back extension like that. We just don't want to shock the spine too much because it can be very intense to work into the back like that. From here, we're just going to do a little bit more drills. This is a very drill-oriented class. I hope you don't mind, but I think all of these aspects are very important. So we're going to play around with handstands, but all we're doing is just getting used to putting more weight on our hands. So if handstands are nowhere near your practice, don't fret too much. I'm going to show you the first progression. If you've got a wall, you can be close to a wall, but again, you're not expected to kick all the way up. So everyone come to downward facing dog. You can shorten your dog a little bit by just stepping forward, and then just pick one leg up for a three-legged dog. So if you've never really done a handstand, and this really scares you, again, you're just keeping very small movements. Keep your arms straight, eye of your elbow facing forward, so hug your triceps back behind. Have your hands and your arms strong and ready, and all you're doing is bending through this left leg, or whichever foot is down on the ground, and taking a tiny hop. And that's, you can use the top leg as a little bit of momentum, but again, it can be a tiny movement. Just really push with your hands when you do it, so that you're getting used to weight in your hands. And then take a little break, switch your leg. Push with your hands. Hands should be shoulder distance apart too. So make sure they're not too wide. No gap between your palm and the mat. And then just little hops here. Really push with the hand. Maybe your foot doesn't even come all the way off the ground. Again, keep it really small. And then maybe you get bigger and bigger hops. If your hops feel really good, and so keep doing that again if that's where you're at with your handstands. If the hops feel really good and you want to use the wall, just kick up. Maybe you don't even touch the wall, but if you do touch the wall, just try not to arch through the back too much. We're trying to avoid a banana back. So you can move a little bit closer to the wall. And if you do get all the way up, let me try again here. If you do get all the way up, bend the leg that's in contact with the mat and keep your body straight. And again, this is just going to avoid this banana backing. We want straight. And then lower down. Kick up with both legs so you don't create an imbalance. We're going to do this just for another couple of minutes. Take breaks as you need. Sorry, my head's chopped off. Take breaks as you need. But again, if you're just doing little tiny kicks, you're building up so much strength, just getting used to being on your hands. And if you get all the way up, just make sure you're really pushing. Your shoulders should be shrugged up. And again, hands shoulder distance. So if you're like this, it's too wide, too wide. So it's usually a little more narrow than you think. Keep playing around with it. Do your darndest, challenge yourself, and just try. Switching the legs. Lowering down, let's ragdoll again. So forward fold, shake out your head. Heels are your feet. I'm just turning so you can see. Heels are your feet. A little bit wider than hip distance, toes pointing out. Lower the hips for Malasana, a yogic squat. You can use a block here. Set it under your bum. If your heels are really high up off the mat, that's fine. That just means you need to hang out in this deep squat more often. So just come to a point where you're comfortable. Maybe the hands are down. Maybe you can bring the hands through to heart center. You can even push your fists together. You can push your elbows out into your knees as you push your knees in towards your elbows. That opposing force there. Strong, straight spine. So if you're really collapsing here, grow out tall or out through the crown of your head. If you're really dying, then just hang out here. If you want more of a challenge, extend the arms up and just take little shoulder pulses here. Just a small movement. Keep extending out through the crown of your head. Keep pulsing for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. We're going to come to meet on our bellies. So in a prone position. I'm just watching my time here. Let's come into a Sphinx pose. We're on the forearms. Elbows are underneath the shoulders. Tuck the tailbone down, so we're really taking any arch out of our lower back. So tuck the tailbone down. Your belly button might lift up off the mat, that's fine. We're trying to reach our tailbone towards our heels to avoid, again, that crunching in the delicate lower back. From here, looking straight ahead, and without moving the gaze, so we're not looking up, we're looking straight ahead. We're just gonna push the back of our heads against an imaginary wall. When you do that, you should feel the area between your shoulder blades really engage. Keep the chin where it is, looking straight ahead, and keep pushing your head back. And then release that, and keeping the arms where they are, pull the chest through. So nothing's really moving, it's a slight movement here. You're pulling the chest through, pull, 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 pull. And then release that, push your head back against that imaginary wall again. Keep tucking the tailbone. Release that and then pull the chest through. And release. Coming out of Sphinx pose, we're going to, let's pick up the bend through the right leg. You can keep the left arm in front of you, just kind of on the forearm there, and reach back with your right arm. So right leg is bent, right arm is reaching back. Maybe you're nowhere near the foot, that's fine. Just push with this left hand and see if maybe one day you can grab the ankle. You can flex through the foot here and then just lift up. And you're pushing, you're kicking back with the foot, which is going to lift up and open up through this right shoulder, right pec area even more. You can use this hand to get up a little bit higher, keep flexing through this foot. It'll probably feel better on the knee. And slowly lower. Bring the right forearm down, bend through the left foot, flex. Reach back with the left hand. Again, use this right hand to lift up, to reach back even more. If you've got the foot, and if you don't have the foot, again, you're just reaching and you're going to build up strength that way. If you've got the foot, you can kick up. Flex, flex, flex. Kick, kick, kick. Hold it here. Slowly release. We're going to do each side one more time. Left forearm is down, bend through the right leg, reach back with the right hand. Again, maybe all you're doing is reach, reach, reaching, or if you've got it, flexing, kicking. Set your gaze. Pick a point on the floor. Kick up a little bit higher, squeeze that right glute. If the knee is really splayed out to the side, pull it in towards the midline. And lower. Other side, plant the right forearm. Then through the left leg, reach with the left hand. If you've got the ankle, flex, 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 and then kick. Engage that left glute. Set your gaze. Pull that left knee in towards the midline if it's splaying out. And lower. Come all the way down. Just take a little modified Shavasana here. Let your back relax. Breathe into your back body. Now we're going to try for floor bow. So we're going to do both legs at the same time. So bend through the legs. If the knees are really wide, again, try to get them as close as possible to start. So I'm down on my chest, and then I'm going to reach back with my hands. You can grab one ankle at a time, or you can try to grab both at the same time. And again, if you can't reach them, all you're doing is reach, reach, reach. You lift your chest up, lift, lift, lift. You're still building up strength there. If you got the ankles, flex through the feet. Same thing, kick up and back, lift through the chest. Keep kicking, kicking, kicking. Or keep reaching, reaching, reaching. Staying calm, sticking with it. And slowly coming out of it. Lower your right ear down onto the mat for our modified Shavasana. And one more round of this floor bow. Picking up both legs. You can try this round with pointed feet. And again, just see what feels good in your body. So reaching back. Maybe you're just reaching and building up strength there, or if you've got the ankles, you can start kicking up and back. Reach up, kick back. Bring the knees in a little bit closer towards one another. Kick, kick, kick. Kick up a little bit higher, and then slowly release left ear in contact with the mat. Breathe into your back body. Bring your arms in front of you. Now when we do back bends, what we're doing is really extending through the front of the body here. So to kind of reintegrate the core, we're just going to do a little forearm plank here. So come onto the forearms, tuck the toes, lift the knees, look down at the mat, suck your belly button in towards your spine, tuck your tailbone down towards your heels, and just holding it here. Breathe into it. Keep everything as calm as possible. You can do it. Keep holding. We're going to hold for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll onto the left forearm. So we're in a little forearm side plank here. Extend the right arm up. Lift the hips. So you're using those left obliques. Lift, lift, lift. Lower back through to plank, forearm plank, and then come onto the right forearm. Left arm reaches up. Use those right obliques to lift the hips even higher. Slowly lower back to our forearm plank. Lower the knees. Shift the heels, the hips back for child's pose. So we're reaching back with our hips as we reach forward with the fingertips. Elbows are up off the mat. You can bring your forehead to the mat, or you can keep your ears between your biceps or your shoulders. I think it's more so shoulders. And And really bring the breath into the back of the ribs to feel the backs of your ribs expanding with the inhales. Shift through to tabletop. You can do this through tabletop or more of a plank position. We're just getting set up with Pigeon Pose, for Pigeon Pose with the right leg in front. So your shin can be closer to your body, or you can heel toe your foot so your shin's more parallel with the top of the mat. Come to a point where it feels good. Check in behind you. Make sure your left leg is straight behind you. You can be on the top of that back foot. And now really sink down into it. Come to your lowest point. Once you're there, your hips, so your right leg is forward. Your hips are a little bit open like this. Your pelvis is oriented like this at our lowest point. Can you see my hands? So once we're at our lowest point, we're going to square up our hips a little bit just so that we have, again, some stability, some strength that we're building into this. From here, hinge forward, keep squaring up your hips a bit. You can stack your fists, rest your forehead on your fists. Breathe. Suck your belly button in towards your spine if your belly's collapsing. Not resting too much quite yet. If you've relaxed a little bit too much into this, square up your hips a little bit more. Again, we want to keep this pigeon a little bit active. Lifting up out of it. Planting the palms, tucking the back toes, lifting that knee up, stepping it back, stepping forward with the left leg. Again, set up your shin as feels good for you. Check in with that back leg, that it's straight back behind you. And then come to your lowest point. So again, your hips, your pelvis is kind of splayed open once you're at your lowest point. And then square it up just a little bit. From here, hinge forward, stack the fists, forehead on fists. Keep squaring the hips up a bit. Suck your belly button in towards your spine. Coming up out of it. Framing the front knee with the palms, tucking the back toes, lift up. And we're going to, you can just come into a little bit of a toe stand here. We're going to practice our front to back split here. So grab a block if you've got it, just in case. Otherwise, you can start in this 90-90 position and just kind of shift forward, shift back. And from here, lower the hands down. I guess if you've got two blocks, they can be helpful even in this. You can extend the right leg forward, really flex through this right foot, and you should feel the stretch along the back side of the right leg. You can stay right here. You can hinge a little bit again, starting with rib cage to thigh. We're not rounding through the back. We're just closing off the gap. If this is enough of a stretch, stay here. If you've got a little bit more in you, you can start Inching that front foot forward. And now somewhere where the blocks can be really nice. I use it on the second setting. The third, especially with foam blocks, can be a little precarious. So just be careful. But I'm just setting the block on its second setting under my front thigh. And it just helps me kind of relax into it and lets the body open up. Wherever you are, we're holding this for a while. So make sure you're somewhere where you can hold it. If you've gone too far, use your hands, come out of it a little bit. Wherever you are, square up the hips. So if your right leg is forward, you're pulling your right hip back, your left hip forward. And breathe. Keeping everything calm, convincing yourself that you like these stretches and knowing that they're good for you. Our minds play a huge role. So if we sit in this and detest every moment of it, our bodies are going to remember that emotion and associate that emotion with the pose, so that the next time we come to do it, our body's not going to be very receptive and open to it. Whereas if we associate good thoughts and good feelings with this, even if it's uncomfortable, our body's going to open up that much quicker. So keeping everything calm. If you can move a little bit deeper, even just a millimeter, maybe change your block setting and go ahead and do so. Otherwise, stay exactly where you are. Keep squaring up your hips. Right hip back, left hip forward. And now just as we ease our body into this, we're going to ease our body out. So using your hands, come up a third of the way. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Come up another third of the way, even if it's not pretty. Maybe you're dragging the mat with you, that's fine. Breathe. And then switch it up. Notice how this leg feels as opposed to the other one. So I'm starting in this kind of 90-90. You can shift back and forth. And again, these are all progressions, so maybe you could just stay in this. Maybe it's too intense with your left leg straight. If you can get your left leg straight, really flex through that left foot. You can use the blocks. You can tense your fingers and be down on the mat if you don't have blocks. You can stay right here, squaring up your hips. Maybe you hinge forward. And if you've got a little bit more in your practice and you're using something to support you, maybe you inch now this left leg forward, get set up. Otherwise, stay exactly where you are. Everyone square up your hips a little bit more. So with your left leg forward, you're pulling your left hip back, right hip forward. And remember the calm, happy thoughts. Seeing if you can come upright. If you can't and you have to hinge forward, that's fine. If you can go a little bit deeper or change your block setting, then carefully, safely do so. Otherwise, stay exactly where you are. Squaring up your hips. Breathing into the stretch. Coming out of it a third of the way. So push with your hands. Again, it might not be pretty, that's fine. Breathe here. Exhale. Come out another third. Breathe. Coming all the way out. And we're going to come to lay on our mats, getting set up for our final rest. Shavasana. You can have your legs extended, your feet the width of your mat. If that's too much on your lower back, Bend through the legs, feet again the width of your mat, knees gently rest against one another. Closing out your eyes. Arms can be down by your sides or out to a T, or maybe even in cactus arms again, opening up even more through the chest. And just letting everything go. Relaxing the jaw, the tongue away from the roof of the mouth, the area around your eyes. Releasing any tension in the neck, the chest and upper back and shoulders, the upper arms, the forearms, the palms and the fingers. Just letting everything get heavy, completely relaxing. Relaxing through the belly, the mid and lower back. Let the hips get heavier. And your quads and hamstrings completely relax. Let everything around your knees get heavy. Your shins, your calves, ankles, the soles of your feet completely relax. The tops of your feet and your toes. Everything is heavy, weighing down, and trusting the support of your mat and the floor. Just noticing how the body feels. Feeling the heart slow down. Breathing deeply. Getting in as much fresh oxygen as possible. Letting it spread out to every muscle in your body. Bringing into your mind's eye again that someone or something that you're grateful for. Same as the beginning of class. Visualize this person or this thing in as much detail as possible. Breathe into it. And gently smile about it. And with the next exhale, let it go. Start to wiggle through your fingers and your toes. Extend the legs if they aren't already. Reach the arms up overhead for a big good morning stretch. Rolling over onto the side of your choice into a fetal position, and then gently pushing yourself up into a seated position of your choice. Wherever you are, grounding down into the mat, growing up a little bit taller out through the crown of your head. Rest your wrists on your knees, palms facing up, point your fingers and thumbs, gently touch. Taking 3 final breaths together. Let's inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Letting everything go. Again, inhale. Exhale. Last one. Bring your hands through to prayer. And in closing, we say, Namaste. I thank you all so much for joining me. Thank you for your patience with last week. And I hope to see you all again. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments, feel free to email me at any time. Otherwise, have a lovely evening.